Hey there, and welcome to The Lab, the series where we tap into the minds and strategies of top performing EXP agents to uncover what's really working out there today. What you're about to see isn't just a great conversation, it's a sneak peek of what's inside EXP University training. All of our major training programs like Fast Cap, the Lead Generation Series, Fast Attract, and more are built by conducting dozens and dozens of these interviews. Think cutting-edge tactics, proven systems, and agent-tested strategies compiled from multiple agents on a given topic, all building into insights shared in our training and right here. Consider this your front row seat, and let's dive in.
So Livia, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it. Would you mind starting with just a brief introduction so folks understand the journey that you've been on and where you're at in your real estate career?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to share my knowledge and my real estate journey. As we know, real estate is not easy, guys. It can be very bumpy, and if it was easy, everybody would do it. So a little bit about me. I grew up in communist Romania for about 20 years, my first 20 years of life. And I came to America with $400 in my pocket and a suitcase full of dreams. Had different jobs, but then about 5 years ago, I decided to get my real estate license just to get freedom, right? Freedom of schedule, freedom of money. I figured, let me just show a couple of houses during the weekend and make a bunch of money. They didn't go quite like that, but I did join a team in 2020, the #1 team in EXP, guys, the Veronica Figueroa team. And I did really good there. You know, there were a lot of leads. And then when I left, I started my video journey, and I've been blessed with about 45,000 followers on Instagram. I have a team of 7 agents, and we get hundreds of leads and inquiries just from our videos every single month.
Wow, 45,000 followers on Instagram.
And growing. We're going on 50,000. It's hard to keep track.
And so that's how I got to meet you. As Veronica actually was bragging about you at the regional rally and what you've been doing. And so she was kind enough to make the introduction. I want to ask you a lot about that, because I feel like if you aren't doing social media these days, you are missing out on one of the biggest forms of lead generation that you could possibly do. And free. So 45,000. How long did it take you to build that, and how did you build that?
That's a great question. I did a lot of trial and error. So back at the Veronica Figueroa team, we had John Cheplek as a coach, and him and Veronica would always tell us, hey, video, that's the future. And they would have this saying, my crappy video is better than your non-existent video. So that was the mentality. And I started posting videos. Initially, I was the digital mayor, right? I was posting about everything, you name it, restaurants, builders, home tours, buyer success. And I only had like about 700 followers for like 2 years. We do open houses, door knocking, cold calling. I started focusing on video, one video every single day. And if I did nothing that day, I had to do that one video. And then I also niched. Instead of posting everything about everybody, I started niching on new construction property tours. That's kind of what I stumbled upon. And I saw what worked, and whatever worked, I doubled down on. And now if you look at my page, it can be quite boring because it's just property tours. That's all I do. No educational content. Is I get property tours, and I sometimes get 100, 200 inquiries on a video. And I funnel them through the automation. Anything else doesn't work, guys. So I don't know. I post about my personal life in the stories. I put my dogs a little bit here and there, but not on the main feed. That's what I discovered.
Yeah. And I want to ask you about the posting, because I see agents taking different avenues and all successful. But I see that avenue that you just mentioned, posting about property tours, especially successful in attracting out of town buyers. Is that true for you as well?
Absolutely. So many relocations, because the people in New York, California, they don't really know. So if they come to my page and they see 100 property tours, they're like, oh my God, Livia has a lot to offer. She's an expert. She has a lot of listings, even though they're not my listings. They're the builders.
Right. Yeah. And again, people out of town, they don't know the area and they don't know what the houses there look like. So great strategy for getting them to know that. Now, there's a catch to that, right? And that is, they're not your followers necessarily, right? They're not your Instagram followers, these folks who are seeing these videos. So we'll talk about the post, but I want to talk first about the form of posts, reels, posts, stories. What do you use, or do you use all of them, and why?
Yes, great question. So I mainly do reels. So every day a video. I do not like images. Images get almost no, they don't work for me. So a property tour, and I posted on a reel because our most viral reel, it had 1.2 million views, but only 1% was the followers. The rest, 99%, came from the outside audience. When you post a reel, it gets shown in the algorithm, to outer audiences that come to your profile or see you on the explore page.
Okay.
So
all right.
that's my preferred method. And then, of course, I share it to the story. And since I have that video, I capitalize on it and I post it on LinkedIn, YouTube Shorts, Facebook groups, you name it, everywhere. TikTok has been super successful. I've been getting like 2 calls every day from TikTok. One of my students that actually, I taught her how to do the videos. She just got 19 appointments in May.
Wow.
From buyers from her videos. Mm-hmm.
On TikTok. Okay, so we're doing reels, but you said you're also using that to fuel your stories as well. Is that right?
Yes. So every time I post a reel, I would share it right away to the story. So make sure when you share it to the story, always tag location, because sometimes I'll have buyers that go on the location page, say Orlando, Florida, Orlando Realtor, and they find you there. So always tag the location in the story and hashtag, say, Realtor or new build. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So talk to me before we make the post, when we'll make the video. So, and then we got to deal with the first thing that trips most people up is, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. Did you deal with that at all yourself?
I absolutely did. I remember the first videos that I would make in a property tour. I would just be so nervous and sweating that my only solution was I would take a deep breath and say one sentence. Take a look at this pool behind me. And then I would hide and then film the pool. I was literally terrified.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That was like in 2020 when I started. And then it got better and better and easier. And then, of course, you think people are judging you. What are your friends going to say? But then you got to ask yourself, are your friends going to be upset when you get like a 15,000 commission from a video? Or are you going to be upset? Are you going to care about what they say? So yeah, first videos were not easy. They weren't perfect. They were pretty crappy. But then you push through and you get better and better by making mistakes and by learning. And a lot of times I don't have a videographer and I don't have an editor. I still do that myself to this day. And it's very, very quick and easy. So sometimes I'll go to the builder and I will ask the sales rep to hold the phone in front of the camera, in front of the house and in front of the kitchen. And then I do like a little B-roll of the house and there you go. That's my free videographer.
Okay. So, and that's the format of the video then is you have some sort of talking segment where you're, I think, probably describing the property, but then you're then walking around the property and are you narrating as you do?
So what I do, and actually our viewers can go to my Instagram page, it's Livia_sunshine_group to see how I do them. What I do recommend, definitely show your face. You can do a blank property tour without your face, but you are the brand. So if you're camera shy, I want you to just be in front of the house waving. That's the least you can do. So they see you with the house. I like to say a couple sentences in front of the house, couple in the kitchen. And then what I do, I go with the camera and I film the best segments of the house. You don't need closets or bathrooms necessarily. I would just do maybe the kitchen as a focal point. If there is a pool, maybe the master bedroom. You want to keep the timing around anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute. Don't put it too long. So you don't need a lot. I film my reels within 5 minutes. And then I edit. Editing takes a little time, but yeah, it's very quick when you film.
Okay. And when you're doing this, aside from the details of the property, are there some kind of standard elements that you're always saying, call to action, or describing who you are, where you live for the algorithm and things like that?
Right. So what I do, the hook is very, very important. And I actually put together a course that has like the 14 elements of a viral reel that attracts the leads, the buyers and sellers. Number one, I pay attention to the hook, visual hook, mention the location, whether it's new build by Disney, new build by Kissimmee, put the area. The last 5-6 seconds, for sure, add a call to action. We kind of tell them, hey, comment a keyword, comment pool, comment build. And then whoever comments, and sometimes it can be like even one video got like 2,000 comments, people inquiring about it. And then we let our automation kind of give them information. So yes, call to action. And I like to focus on the neighborhood. So if you will narrate over the video of the house, I would just tell them, hey, this builder is close to the Olympus project, $19 billion, restaurants, dining, airport. So focus on the community versus like, here's the kitchen, here's the sink,
Yeah. You said visual hook. Are you referring to the thumbnail? What's typically the thumbnail image that you'll use for your videos?
So for the thumbnail, I would just post the video. And then when I edit the thumbnail, I just kind of pick it up from the video. You can move the cursor. And I normally select me with the house in the back and the location, right? So people see that, hey, there's the lady selling the houses in that city. So that's sort of the visual hook. And then don't linger too much on one area because people scroll and they lose their attention. So I try to work in 5-second frames. 5 seconds in a location and then move it to another side.
Got it. And you mentioned the automation, comment this. Are you using ManyChat?
Yes. So ManyChat is a big part of our funnel. We also use Zapier, obviously KV Core. We also do text the word keyword and they end up in the CRM. So we have different avenues.
So you've got automation that as soon as they text that keyword, it's giving them whatever you promised to give them, but it's then also taking them into your, I think you said KV Core.
Correct. Yes. Through a Zapier automation, we do that. And then from KV Core, they get worked on by the text message campaigns, by the email drip campaigns, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. And by the way, those of you watching this, if you've not played around with Zapier or N8N, these are amazing tools that allow for a lot of things that you're doing that are tedious tasks, that are repetitive, that can be automated and off your plate. So that's really cool that you set that up. So, so you're doing these videos, and you said you do these in builders, open houses, and model homes, and also inventory as well.
Correct.
Are you just going? And you said you're doing one a day. Is that 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week?
So right now I have a lot of videos. Honestly, I probably have so many videos from the past that I don't need to film for 6 months. So I'm in a different situation. But for some, and you can recycle them too. A lot of agents don't know that. They think, oh, but I showed that 3 months ago. Well, guess what? When you showed it, probably only 200 people saw it. And now there's a whole new audience.
Yeah.
For somebody new that's filming, I definitely recommend get yourself a video buddy, an accountability buddy from the office, because you can kind of hold the camera, inspire each other. And I would batch the content, maybe one day block 4 hours and go to 3 builders and get the 3 videos. Or from one tour, you can also do like 10-second snippets of the kitchen and still promote the property and recycle that content. So there's different ways.
You're doing multiple videos off of one property then?
You certainly could too, yes. So you could do like one full video, and then since you have it edited, then you can maybe chop it up in 15 seconds each and then post that in different days, just so you have your content going. And basically the algorithm on Instagram, if you post for 30 days, and you don't have to post every day because that's tough, right? But if you post for 30 days, the algorithm recognizes you as an official creator, and they will start showing you to outside audiences more.
Yeah. The theory behind these platforms is they don't want to get others hooked on your videos if you're not going to keep going. And so they look for repetitive things there. I'm curious, the biggest thing that we have as a challenge in doing this, once we build a bridge and get over ourselves about how we look and how we sound, but the biggest challenge that we have once we've created content is stopping the scroll, right? How do you capture that attention? And you talked about the thumbnail and the over text for the location. All, is there anything in the captions or anything like that that you do that helps you kind of stop the scroll, so to speak?
So we've been constantly working on that, and I actually just took a course for TikTok of stopping the scroll. And what they say in that course, and I'm trying to apply it, they're saying use visual hooks and objects. For example, this lady started her video with a pregnancy test and a hammer, and she was sort of hammering that pregnancy test. And then I don't even know what the commercial was for, but they're saying use like something visual. Like I'm thinking of doing candles. I'm lighting 3 candles and talking. Or what you do, you add B-roll. So what I do, if I'm in front of the house, I'm talking for 3 minutes, and then immediately I add an overlay of either a map or something catchy like Disney. This home is 10 minutes from Disney, and then I put Mickey Mouse on the screen. So have different things pop like that within the first 3 seconds. Yeah. That's what we've been trying.
I had a conversation with Amy Gregory, one of our
I love Amy. Yes.
Yeah, she's amazing, and she showed me a couple of her Instagrams, and she used that kind of technique of the unexpected and this pattern interrupt in her videos, and it really does kind of suck you in immediately. It's so different that you just want to watch to see a little bit more, like to make it make sense.
I know, right?
So. Are we using hashtags anymore? I know a lot of people who say no because the algorithm is going to parse out my transcript and they'll find the keywords and things like that. But I do know agents who still use hashtags. How about yourself?
So here's the thing. I mean, the hashtags are always playing a trick on me, because last year I was posting 30 of them, and then I saw that people starting to do 5. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's that? Because I pay attention. I look at the top agents and I get inspired. And I'm like, what is she doing? Let me do the same. So apparently they're saying now that the hashtags don't exist anymore, because we're going into, for Instagram at least, we're going into a content-driven strategy. They're saying that, newer agents with less followers, they can go viral and get millions of views as long as their content is good. So yeah, I don't use hashtags anymore. Sometimes I'll just throw 1 or 2, but for Instagram, I don't think it matters. My videos still kind of go without the hashtags.
Yeah, and if that wasn't clear, what I was saying is, in the video transcript now automatically generated by AI, the algorithms for any of these platforms are seeing what your video is about without your hashtags even telling them. They're seeing the content. So that means, though, then your script really needs to have the right words in it. Are there particular words that you try to work in each time you're doing a video?
Well, I guess since our niche is, new construction, Orlando, Florida realtor, I guess we always kind of mention them by default. I have not paid that much attention to that, but I will tell you that if you cross over on TikTok, I definitely recommend posting your video on TikTok. And hashtags are very much a thing on TikTok. So you have to put them there, not on Instagram, but there on TikTok.
Okay. All right. So you do these videos, you do, several at a time and batch it up, and cool that you got 6 months worth of inventory of your content. That's amazing.
Years.
So once you posted these, is there anything else you're doing then to make sure that these go out as viral as they possibly could?
Well, let's see. In the beginning, I was, I guess, paying attention to the time, which I found that doesn't really matter as much. I mean, you could try to follow. I would post at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then maybe after 7 o'clock at night, when people are more likely to be on the phone. I noticed that Monday and Tuesdays are slower than the weekends. Weekends are very hot, usually holiday weekends. Like when there's a holiday, oh my goodness, I gear up. I'm like, let's post, because we're going to get a lot of leads. I kind of watch the trends. But as far as, just kind of do your videos and be consistent. That's all it takes. Like there's no secret. I mean, obviously work on your hook, call to action, and then put them out there consistently. In the beginning, 2-3 times a week. Then later on, start recycling, and you can do more frequency. But this works so good. Like 4 of my students that are actually in my group, because I also have a team, it is insane. Like this girl, Ariel, had 0 leads in December 20th. I took a screenshot. 4 months later, I think she got like 700 inquiries on a video and 2,000 shares by the property tours. And she only has 2,000 followers. So keep in mind, it's just followers don't matter. You're starting, I wish it was that easy to join Instagram back in the day, because, there was a big barrier. But now with the content-driven strategy, it's very easy for new people to go viral. So I definitely encourage you guys to do that.
Yeah, no kidding. That's amazing results too. And when you look, or do you look at your metrics? And if so, has that shifted anything in your approach over time?
Every minute. I love my numbers. I check my phone too much. That's why I'm cross-eyed, if you see. But basically, I always look at the metrics. Now they introduce that 3-second scroll stopper, and it tells you if your video was at 60% for the 3-second or 40%, viewer capture. I look at the shares, at the messages, and of course, what works, I go ahead and repost. Now that I have a team of 7 agents, I want to boost the volume of the leads, and sometimes I'll just run an ad for something that works good. But the way I would do it, if you guys want to run a little ad, do like 10-20 organic videos and see how the market responds, and then run an ad on the most engaging one.
And this is advice I've heard from other top agents who are using the platforms: just put the video out first, let it perform, and then pick the winner. So when you go to create an ad, can you walk us through like a recent one maybe you've done? Like, who are you targeting? How do you target it? How much are you putting toward an ad, if you don't mind me asking that?
Of course. Well, what I do actually, I don't even do an ad. I do a boost on Instagram. So, the same videos that I use, because my videos already have a call to action. They said, comment pool, comment this. I just do a $5 boost a day, sometimes $10 a day. You don't even need a lot. And then you'll notice more people watching the video, more followers, and that helps a little bit. But I do not recommend doing it a lot, because you want to get the natural audience even slower with the natural organic audience that will buy from you. You don't just want like people that are going to look and not buy.
How much do you typically spend if you're going to boost?
$5 a day. If it's enough, I wouldn't do more than $5 or $10, and maybe put it for 10 days.
Wow. Okay. So not a whole lot of money. Yeah.
Nothing, almost $50. Yeah.
And do you find that doing that boost has been worth it in terms of the return for you?
Absolutely, because what it does, it brings more people to your profile, more followers, and then more leads. But then, of course, I run some Facebook ads too, so I can post. You asked me about the ads, so I take the same video and I put it on a Facebook ad with a form, and I target relocation people from New York, California, Miami that are looking on Realtor.com and Zillow, and then I just put a lead form, and we get those too. But not as much on I guess it goes on Instagram too, right? Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah. Obviously, it's working with you. 45,000 followers and growing. That's amazing. I'm curious. So there's generating the views. There's generating the direct messages, the mini chats, and things like that. How then does that translate to a working customer for you? What's that process typically like?
I get that question a lot from the new agents that join my team, They're like, okay, so how many closings? So basically, we have to think that the relocation people are a totally different breed. What I find, because I used to do Realtor.com, I used to do Zillow leads, I used to do everything. So I can compare. These leads are very solid. We get a lot of buyers and sellers. You wouldn't believe it, how many referrals we send out to New York, California, because they're like, I'm selling my home, or I just collected 200,000 equity from my home and I'm ready to come to Orlando and buy a home there. So we get a lot of those. The other challenge is people are qualified, but it's a matter of timing, because some of them are 6 months out, a year out if they have to sell a home. So we just have to be patient. with those. But with that question, I mean, I had a part-time agent on my team last year, part-time teacher that closed 12 deals only from Instagram deals in her first year part-time, and then she joined us full-time.
And so you mentioned the Zapier automation that's pulling details, I'm guessing, from their social media account into your CRM. Typically at that point, do we have an email? Do we have a phone number? Or just their social media handle? What do you typically find?
Yes. So what we do, we connect the Zapier. So we have a flow, actually, a very robust automation flow in ManyChat. And my audience is available. You guys can copy all my automation, copy paste it. I have in a template. So we'll include some links, or you can find it on my Instagram link in bio. But basically what we do, we ask everybody for an email. And then once that email pops in the Instagram DM, it gets shot over to the CRM through Zapier. We collected 7,000 emails last year, literally.
Wow. So just clarifying what I just heard, you're saying when they're commenting, you're asking them, give me your email address.
Correct. So when they're commenting, we just have the automation. Okay, well, check your DM for more info. And then we say, hey, I'm so glad you're looking for new built homes. What's your email? That's the first thing we ask them. But you could also ask them, what's your number? They may not give it to you. And then the moment they put their email, then we release a little text with information about the home. And then we give them an option to hop on our calendar, invite the Calendly, or call us.
Got it. And when you're getting them to comment, whatever, are you offering them information? Are you offering them like a buyer guide? Like, what do you offer to get them to make that ManyChat comment first?
Yeah, so we just, at the end of every video, we just put comment pool or comment house, comment mother. We just say a keyword, like if they're interested, right? Comment mother arrows. And you'd be surprised how many people are scrolling, hypnotized, and they just comment.
They just put it in, no real offer of value. That's amazing. And then
you tell them what to do, and they'll do it.
That's
yeah.
I love that. So, so once you've got their contact information, their email, are you continuing the DM conversation? Because I know a lot of agents, they use social media as kind of an extension of their CRM now, right? Back in the day, you used to make calls, pop-bys, maybe text messages, things like that. Now, a lot of agents are also using DMs and comments on people's posts and things like that as a new form of touch. Are you doing that as well, or do you move exclusively to email once they've given you that contact info?
So actually, we work their email with automation, but what we do, because like in May, I counted, May was a little bit slow for us. We only got 619 inquiries for the whole month, because usually sometimes we get 1,000. September of last year was 2,200. It just really depends. But what I did, because obviously I couldn't handle them all. So what I do, my agents on my team, they all have a live chat account in ManyChat, So what I do, I rotate those leads to them. So when somebody starts talking, then they end up talking to my agents, and they get nurtured in the DMs. But obviously the goal is to extract a phone number or to get to an appointment. We don't just want to text them for 3 months. Okay. So I'm lucky I have my agents. Now I have 2 virtual assistants. I put them on the chat. I'm trying different things, but it's a lot of volume. Mm-hmm.
Is there a script that you're following as you're interacting with them?
Yeah, we do have like a little fact finding. Honestly, they're very personable. I will tell you that people will talk on Instagram like crazy, like they're your sister or your brother. And I even coach my agents to be very informal. No, good evening. My name is, how are you? I'm like, hey, how's your search going? Hey, it's just very informal and fast and quick. Yeah.
I think that's the key to building rapport, I'd imagine, is not sounding like you're a formal stuff. Sure.
Yes.
When it comes to your future and what you want to evolve, are there things you haven't yet put into place for your platforms that you're working on now? It sounds like you've taken a TikTok class recently and working on the stop and scroll. What else?
Yes. Oh, goodness. I mean, every day. It's interesting because in real estate, you have to learn every day, right? I've been in it for 5 years. And by the way, before I joined the team, I forgot to mention that I sold 0 houses in a year and a half part-time,
Wow.
with Century 21. So that was a big disappointment. But anyway, that just shows being in proximity with the right people, what it teaches you. So as far as learning, yes, I'm always like learning more systems, better systems, lead magnets. I'm constantly working with my virtual assistant to just learn how we can convert these better,
Yeah.
buyer
Yeah.
guides, you name it, all that. It's always a struggle, it's always uphill.
And you talked about too a little bit about the difference of TikTok keywords or hashtags in your posts. Do you find that you're able just to take videos straight from your Instagram Reels and post them to TikTok, or do you find that you're doing other things to them to make them TikTok ready or Facebook ready?
So these videos, absolutely, you can post on TikTok just like that with a comment to action. The only thing with TikTok, which I only learned about a month ago, and I'll tell you why. So my virtual assistant is in the Philippines. So she had been posting everything from Instagram on TikTok with no result, no followers, no engagement, nothing. Turns out TikTok is geotagged, major geotagged. So my videos are only getting shown to people in the Philippines.
Oh,
Crazy. So I missed out on a year. And then one of my students, Gina, that actually took my course, she started making the videos, started posting them on TikTok, and went viral within like a month. TikTok is faster than Instagram. And then she told me, Livia, I have like 2-3 appointments a day from TikTok, from the videos. It is insane. But with TikTok, you have to do a lot more research about the keywords. It's very much like a search engine, kind of like YouTube. There's a whole new world, but you can kind of learn on YouTube about it, but very different as far as hashtags and keywords. But you can still post those videos on TikTok and get leads.
okay. And Facebook, any changes for that platform?
So honestly, Facebook never really took off for me that well. I use Facebook groups sometimes because, we have this Snowbirds group that has 40,000 people. So whenever I post a video there, everybody gets notified. And sometimes we get clients from there. But I haven't really broken into Facebook that much. We get some from YouTube too, some from LinkedIn, and then a lot of agent referrals that see our videos.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I didn't ask you about what you do on Instagram or any of the platforms that you think is really important for agents to understand?
So what I would mention, there's no really secret sauce, and you can't go wrong with it if you just do it. I would say do it every day. I know it's a lot, right? If you think about it, but literally I have agents that have gotten $15,000 within 2 months, deals closed. Within 3-4 months, you can definitely see results. So I would definitely put the time commitment and just start doing the videos and be as consistent as you can, because you can't fail. Like if you're consistent.
Yeah, that's true of any form of lead generation, isn't it? All right. Your best advice for somebody who's just getting started, what would be the first step or two they should take?
You mean for real estate or for the video technique?
For doing Instagram or social media posting as a real estate agent.
So what I would say, number one, do a little bit of research and follow. I'm sure you guys all follow some realtors out there, right? That have a big following, see what they do and get inspired. That's number one thing. Number two, go on YouTube and start learning a little bit about, learn about hooks, how to go viral on Instagram. There's a lot of videos, because you always have to keep learning, because the algorithm is always changing. So definitely the learning part and the studying. And then the second one, just do it. Do the property tour. It's going to get easier as you do it. And I promise you the results are amazing. I ended up overnight with a team of 7 agents and hundreds of leads when it all blew up, and it's life-changing for everybody.
Yeah. Even if you don't want to build a production team, building a revenue share org gets a lot easier when you've got that kind of value to offer to people. That's amazing. Hey, speaking of which, you have a course. I know we kind of scratched the surface, but I know you go a lot deeper if people wanted to learn more about what you're doing and how to do it, where would they go to find you?
Yes, so I basically created a course after doing 1,000 videos, after failing about, the first 700 didn't really bring much, but then cutting into my niche and the strategy and the hooks. So I put all that in a video course. And I also created another one with all my automation. I call it the hot funnel machine. And it's all of our templates, the ManyChat, the Zapier. It literally, everything I've done in 6 months, you copy paste and you copy it on your screen. And I even have a team that can help you with the implementation if you want, if you're not tech savvy. But you can find my courses on my Instagram and the link in bio. My Instagram is Livia, LIVIA _sunshine_group. And maybe we can put it somewhere. I don't know if we can put in a comment.
I bet we can.
I'm sure you guys just Google Livia Petraru. You'll find me.
Awesome. Well, Livia, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your hard-won wisdom with everybody. We really appreciate it.